another video. So in this video we will discuss about the plug and play and the manual one. So the plug and play, how things work is that when the device is being connected to the internet, it will first look for the ZTP server, that is zero test provisioning server. So the zero test provisioning server will be responsible to give an information who is your vBond. Alright, so zero touch provisioning server will check the serial number and everything. Once that is been confirmed, it will forward your who is your vBond. So once it got the vBond details now, so this device will now go to the vBond. So vBond there is already an information with vBond with the serial number and the token number, which will be given by the Cisco for you. You have to add it into your vManage first. I will show you when we access that one. So once you add it to your vManage, from vManage you will be pushing to your vBond and the vSmart also, both of them. So that information will be pushed by the vManage to vBond. So when this device come to the vBond, vBond will authenticate the serial number and token number, and it will forward the vManage details. So once this device got the vManage detail, it will just go to the vManage now, and vManage will again authenticate. After authentication, it will start the onboarding process. Now let's understand the authentication now. So when we install the vManage, we will see that with the controller authentication, we will be using Cisco or maybe the manual one, that is Enterprise. So in our lab, we will be using the Enterprise. So that's why we will have our own certificate authority, and that certificate authority will have a root certificate CL. Now we have another options that for the WAN edge devices, we manage to automate. So automate means when the device comes to vManage, it is a vManage responsibility to authenticate using the root CA certificate. And if the root CA certificate matches with the vManage installed root CA certificate, then you start the onboarding. So let's understand how the process goes on. So we will configure our own CA and we will have our own root certificate authority. Now this root certificate authority, first we will install it in the vManage. So once we install it in the vManage, using the certificate authority, we will issue a certificate for the vManage. Then we start adding vBond and vSmart to the vManage, and we will say to vManage that whenever we are adding, automatically generate the certificate signing request. So when we add the vSmart and vBond to vManage, a certificate signing request will be automatically created. Now we will take the certificate signing request, go to our CA and issue the certificate for vBond and the vSmart. And using the vManage dashboard, we are going to install that certificate for the vBond as well as for the vSmart. So in this way, my root certificate CA, this is the one certificate which is common with everyone. Okay. So whenever we are adding the controllers, vManage will be responsible to install that root certificate automatically into the controllers. But coming to the WAN edge devices, if it is a plug and play, things will be different. But if it is a manual, you have to manually install your root certificate. Okay, so once it has the root certificate, the common thing is that root certificate, everyone has the same root certificate. So when this device goes to vManage, it will show this root certificate. vManage will say yes, and it will start the onboarding process. What if you are using the Cisco provided ones? Okay, now the vManage, it's already having the Cisco root certificate. We don't worry about it. When we add the vBond and the vSmart, Cisco Certificate Authority will automatically issue the certificates for both of them. You don't have to worry about it. You just add the vBond and vSmarts normally. And Cisco Certificate Authority will issue the certificate automatically, and vManage will implement or install the certificate respectively. Now coming to the WAN edge device, there is by default Cisco root certificate is installed. So now it doesn't have, you don't have to install anything. It will just connect to the internet. Once connected to the internet, it will go to the vMont and it will show the certificate authority. It will show the serial uh, number and the token number. Once authenticated, it will give details of the vManage. And once it got the details of the vManage, it will go to the vManage, and vManage again will check the root certificate to authenticate, and it will see that okay, vBand has already authenticated, so it will start the onboarding process. So once you start the onboarding process, configuration will be pushed to the WAN edge, giving the information of vSmart, vBond, and the vManage. Alright, so this is the zero touch provisioning, or you can say plug and play, simply. But in a manual thing, what you're doing is that you are manually installing the root certificate on the vManages. You're manually issuing these certificates to vBond and the vSmart and installing it manually. And also the root certificate is being manually installed on the WAN edge devices. So it's like a manual work is little bit a lot when it is a manual, especially in the lab. But in the real time, you will be utilizing the Cisco Certificate Authority because Cisco will provide you that facility with the license if you purchase the device. You don't have to worry about it. So it will be automatic process. No need of installing anything. You just connect the device to the internet. It will automatically start the onboarding. And once the onboarding is complete, it will install the configuration which it got it from the vManage and it is now ready to communicate with the internet. So I hope this was clear, the plug and play and the manual provisioning. I hope this was informative for you and thank you.